CTV News with Lauren Stallone.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. London police are investigating 2 more reported shootings from last weekend. They say these are in addition to the shooting on Richmond Row, where 1 person was wounded. Police evidence markers show bullet holes in a home near Cheapside and McNay. Police say a resident reported a possible shooting last Friday, and they believe the shots were fired late Thursday night. According to police, multiple 911 calls came in early Sunday morning, reporting shots fired along Limberlost Road. They say they found damage to a residence and a vehicle. These reports came after police revealed on Tuesday they were investigating a shooting at an after-hours club on Richmond Row, where a man suffered serious but non-life-threatening injuries. They say that also happened early Sunday morning, but at this point, police have not officially linked any of the shootings. Officials with London's frontline homelessness agencies say their community is devastated by loss right now after a recent spike in deaths. It's prompting calls on candidates in this year's municipal election to make commitments to address a crisis situation. With more, here's Daryl Newcomb.
3 deaths in the last 10 days among London's homeless and unhoused have left their community and the agencies who serve them grieving.
Those numbers are striking. They're quite high, and we as a community are feeling that collective loss quite significantly.
Following a memorial service attended by more than 200 people, London Cares emphasized that the homelessness crisis must become a top priority for candidates and voters in the upcoming municipal election.
Any single campaign for anybody involved in politics. Housing and homelessness is political. Housing is healthcare. Healthcare is housing. We need everyone at that table to be saying those exact same words.
An annual satisfaction survey conducted by City Hall has consistently ranked homelessness as the #1 top-of-mind issue for Londoners.
This is an issue that's very high up on my priority list because we're spending a lot of money to address this issue, and a community is really only as strong as its weakest link, so we need to start looking at how we're going to support them, not only in the short term but long term.
Incumbent mayoral candidate Josh Morgan cites local progress housing the unsheltered amidst the deepening province-wide crisis.
1,500 people leaving the streets into stable, secure housing, but more people falling into homelessness. It's why it is a crisis. It's why it needs to rise to the top of the provincial and national agenda. It's why it's at the top of the municipal agenda as something we talk about every day.
Mayoral candidate Kirsten Kroos points to the supportive apartments at House of Hope as a model she supports greater investment in.
More needs to be done. I think we need a solution that brings in all the organizations and really addresses what the vulnerable community needs. We also need to look at cost effectiveness and respecting the taxpayer.
Make no mistake, I still think 25 deaths on the street is too many. You know, it's better than the 55 a few years ago, but each and every one of those is a real person who we shouldn't be politicizing, who we should be seeing as a person we care for, a person we've lost in this community, and someone who we need to continue to do better each and every year to help.
Also running for mayor are Councillor Susan Stevenson, John Fair, and Lawrence Zachary Howe. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
Local farmers say this year's planting season could be their most expensive ever. That has to do with soaring costs of fuel and fertilizer. With more on their preparations, here's Scott Miller.
Josh Borson is filling his corn planter with fertilizer. With warm, dry weather on the way this weekend, he expects to get a lot of his corn in the ground over the next few days. But every trip around the field this spring will cost him more money than last year.
The price of inputs on the farm has been escalating quite a bit over the last 18 months. But with the Strait of Hormuz shutdown and the war going on in the Middle East, we've definitely seen a sharp increase in our input costs.
23% of the world's ammonia fertilizer has been shut down by the Iran war, while even more oil, the main ingredient in diesel fuel, is stuck in the Strait of Hormuz. Borson says what's happening overseas has doubled the price he pays for diesel fuel and fertilizer, and he's not alone.
From fertilizer prices to diesel, this is probably going to be one of the most expensive crops farmers are planting ever.
Patel estimates it will cost Canadian farmers a record-setting $22.5 billion to plant their crops this spring.
We don't like to always cry foul, I guess, let's say, right, or be complainers about the situation. But farmers are bearing the burden of all this risk, and it's costing us a significantly larger amount of money to plant.
What can be done about it? Patel says removing regulatory barriers to the production of fertilizer, fuel, seed genetics, and other crop protection tools here in Canada would drastically help.
We have local companies that have developed a drought-resistant, type of soybeans. Another one that has healthier oil soybean, and the beneficiaries of that have been U.S. farmers just because of the timelines involved.
So if we can improve those policies that allow our end users to build their capacity, that will help us weather these storms.
Borson says he'll do his best to find efficiencies in planting this season, but fertilizer and fuel are two things he can't control the price of and simply has to use to get his seeds in the ground.
The famous line is, we buy at retail, sell at wholesale, and pay the freight both ways, right? That's never been more true in 2026.
In Perth County, Scott Miller, CTV News.
A fire caused extensive damage to a semi-detached townhouse last night. Emergency responders were called to Snowdon Crescent in south central London just before 6 p.m. Wednesday. When they arrived, there were flames in the upper bedroom spreading into the roof structure. The occupants were reportedly able to get themselves out on their own and were treated at the scene by EMS. Firefighters say they were able to get the situation under control within an hour. London firefighters launched their 2026 Sound the Alarm campaign today, focusing on student rentals.
Today, we're here to kick off the 2026 Sound the Alarm Smoke Alarm campaign. And starting next Tuesday, May 19th, firefighters will be going door to door to check alarms, share fire prevention information, and answer questions of any homeowners or tenants. Last year, we visited 15,000 homes, and one of the things we noted was the lack of working smoke alarms and CO alarms in our student housing population in and around Fanshawe and Western, and that's the reason we want it to be a focus this year. What we're seeing with student rentals is, looking at last year's campaign, we saw a number of smoke alarms that did not have a battery in it, and I think what we're seeing sometimes with students is the remote control goes dead or some other device goes dead and they require a battery, and it's too easy to get it from the smoke alarm, and so that's the reason we're targeting student rentals this year.
Fire department here today for our Sound the Alarm program.
It is the law to have a working smoke and CO alarm. And we talk about smoke alarms, it should be on every level in your home as well as outside all sleeping areas. And if you have a fuel-fired appliance, which is essentially an attached garage, a gas water heater, a fireplace, you are required as well to have a CO alarm on each and every level within your home as well.
As more people hit the water this long weekend, OPP are warning one wrong move in cold water can turn deadly fast. Over the past decade, police say more than 100 paddlers have died in Ontario waters. CTV's Chris Campbell reports.
At River Canard Outpost, Ron LaPointe says prepared paddlers usually stand out right away.
They're interested in, basically doing everything correctly. They've got all the correct gear, the correct equipment.
LaPointe says River Canard offers calmer conditions for beginners and families compared to Lake Erie or the Detroit River.
Well, River Canard is a gentle river, and it's basically shallow. Even on windy days, the waves are really tiny.
But even sheltered waterways can become dangerous in cold water conditions. According to the Ontario Provincial Police, there have been nearly 250 marine fatalities over the last 10 years in Ontario. More than 100 involved kayaks, canoes, and paddle boards, and 83% of those were not wearing a life jacket. The reminders come just days after a 53-year-old man and his 7-year-old son died in the waters near Long Point. OPP say both were wearing life jackets at the time.
It really comes down to the fact that if you are going to venture out in the water, make sure that you do have warm clothing, make sure you have a plan in place. More importantly, though, make sure you let somebody know when you're coming back.
At Peely Wings Outfitters near Point Peely National Park, Eric Briggs says Lake Erie conditions can change quickly, even when the weather feels warm on land.
The water might not be cold enough for hypothermia, but it can definitely cause a bit of a shock gas reflex, and that's what will get people in trouble.
Because of those conditions, the business is only renting equipment for the protected marsh area, not Lake Erie itself. Briggs says understanding your surroundings is key before heading out.
It's always about risk mitigation. Understand the risk and understand how much risk you're willing to take to enjoy the time on the water.
The OPP reminds boaters and paddlers that a safe and enjoyable boating season starts with always being well prepared, urging people to wear your life jacket, check weather conditions, avoid alcohol and drugs on the water, and be prepared for cold water. Chris Campbell, CTV News.
New owners are taking over the OHL's Owen Sound attack. According to a media release, the new ownership group includes former London Knight player Tyler Nother. He's been named the organization's president and governor after the league approved the term sale to a group called Ecological Dynamic Sports Partnership. The statement also includes the attack will remain in Owen Sound. The franchise has won OHL championship in its history from 2011. Officials with the Byron Optimist Club have canceled their Canada Day fireworks. It's a tradition dating back more than 40 years. Organizers say this comes amid rising costs and limited volunteer support. Instead of fireworks, they say they're going to host a more kid-focused celebration on July 1st.
Well, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. I know that there's a lot of people in the community are going to be a little bit upset we don't have fireworks, but it really did come down to dollars and cents and volunteers. The thing that we're looking at, for example, $14,000 just for fireworks alone. You know, we could spend that money as a club giving back to the community. And that was probably one of the hardest decisions this board really had to do, because I know people are going to be upset that fireworks, but I can guarantee a fantastic, fantastic candidate.
Hundreds of local students are learning about water this week at the Children's Water Festival happening at Fanshawe Conservation Area. With more on their experience and the cultural teachings, here's Sean Irvin.
A child shrieks at the touch of cold water. This outdoor shower is designed to teach children the importance of conserving household water. It's just one of nearly 24 stations inside the Children's Water Festival at Fanshawe Conservation Area. Despite cooler temperatures that limited some activities, students from grades 2 to 5 still had ample opportunity to learn about conservation, science, protection, and technology.
Here, they're going to learn where their water comes from, how it's getting to their tap, how they can take better care of it when it's here, and then as it leaves, where it's going into the world.
Older students appear to get the message.
Because I want to respect the environment and I want to respect the animals who live in the sea.
And those in the sky and on the land. Two stations here also explain the tie between water and Indigenous communities. At this stop, kids were invited to express their understanding through art and song.
And I think it's important because we don't always think about water as living or having a spirit. And as Indigenous people, that's what we believe and know to be true. If we develop a good relationship with the water and the environment around us, then we're more likely to make better decisions that will affect the water and the land in a healthy way.
And those water conservation decisions begin when we are young.
Well, I don't keep my tap on. I close it once I'm done. While I'm brushing my teeth, I don't leave the water on the entire time. I only use it when I need it.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
Local Goodwill officials are asking Londoners to donate clothing or other textiles rather than send them to a landfill.
Every sock, towel, sheet, and piece of clothing that's donated helps power climate action while creating skills training and jobs for people who need work the most.
The Warner Torn donation drive is back for a second year. Organizers say everything is accepted, whether it's lightly used or completely worn out. Higher quality items go into the store for resale, supporting job search and retraining programs. Other items are repurposed. Organizers say last year brought in 35,000 pounds of textiles, with only 1% ending up in landfill.
We have mechanical, initiatives where you can transform like a poly cotton blend into perhaps automotive insulation, insulation in homes, under padding for carpet. There are all those different avenues that we're exploring.
There is only so much space, but when there is a mechanism to have those materials go elsewhere rather than the landfill site, that's of course the preferred option, right? Landfill is always last resort.
Coming up, the final countdown to the World Cup is on. How Canadians are getting their very own piece of the game. The technology, telecommunication, and financial sectors helped Canada's main stock index today. In Toronto, the TSX gained 227, and in New York, the Dow added 370, while the Nasdaq is up 233. The Canadian dollar dropped 1/10 of a cent today, and on commodity markets, gold is down more than $21 an ounce, and oil is up 15 cents a barrel. The Premier is continuing to face fallout over his government's flip-flop on a recent private jet purchase. Documents show Ontario taxpayers are on the hook for nearly $200,000 in connection with the plane. CTV's Siobhan Morris reports.
It's the big buy that just keeps hovering over Queen's Park.
For months, this Premier was putting his hands in the pockets of the people of Ontario.
Newly released documents from the Premier's office show the government put a down payment on a $30 million jet in January. We didn't find out about the purchase until mid-April. The public anger was loud.
I believe it was the right decision, but if people don't want it, we aren't going to do it.
Doug Ford turned that jet around.
We gave it back to Bombardier, the exact same price. No one lost anything.
Though there were questions about whether there was more in the details.
Anything that is extra, or maybe there's nothing extra, we'll make it transparent.
We now know there were extra costs, more than $139,000 for aircraft maintenance, inspection, and training, another $33,000 for legal services, and $18,000 for acquisition support. The extra cash totaling nearly $191,000.
So I want to ask the Premier to stand up and tell us, will you pay the people of Ontario back for your midlife crisis gravy plane?
The Premier away from Queen's Park at a pair of events reporters weren't invited to. The Minister of Economic Development spoke for him.
The Premier has made his comments on the jet. We're really focused on the economy.
No direct answer from government officials about whether a payback is coming.
No taxpayer should be on the hook for the Premier's private luxury jet, especially when he's been misleading us for weeks now that there would be no cost to the taxpayer.
The expense, a drop in the bucket in Ontario's $244 billion budget. But the interim Liberal leader says it's telling.
It's a Premier who's tired and lost his way because he doesn't understand the reality of everyday life in Ontario.
This is the last day MPPs are at Queen's Park before a week in their communities. But opposition leaders are determined to make sure the Premier wears his jet decision, whether he's at the legislature or not. At Queen's Park, Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
The Prime Minister announced a long-awaited clean energy strategy today, planning to double Canada's electrical grid by 2050 while transitioning to a low-emission economy. With more on that plan and how reasonable these targets are, here's Abigail Beeman.
The Prime Minister amped up to deliver a long-awaited electricity strategy with a plan to double Canada's capacity.
As our industries expand, our economy grows, AI accelerates, electricity demand in Canada is expected to double by 2050. So we will double our grid.
The government estimates the expansion could add 130,000 high-paying jobs by 2050.
This announcement in electricity, as far as I'm concerned, is the greatest announcement since, well, electricity itself.
Canada's current electrical system is complex and siloed. The Prime Minister concedes it's often easier to trade power with the United States than interprovincially, costing Canada billions.
Tying our grids together, and that will be that will be essential, and that's where the federal government has to come in and help the provinces make good choices that work strategically for the nation.
To help build and power an expanded grid, Mark Carney is proposing more flexibility to scale up natural gas, especially important in Western Canada, by loosening Trudeau-era clean electricity regulations.
It is a betrayal of the years of time that was spent with stakeholders and utilities and Indigenous nations on developing the federal clean electricity regulations.
He re-announced the same electricity plan that the Liberals have used over the last decade to jack up the cost of power bills by 35%.
While the government promises this expansion will eventually lower bills, it also puts the price tag at more than $1 trillion overall and couldn't provide any details about a breakdown or who would pay for what. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Another cold night, a frost advisory in effect for parts of Midwestern Ontario, and we will start your Friday on the cool side, but lots of sunshine to kick off the weekend, and your Friday is the turning point in terms of warm air moving in. Thank you, Lizzie, for this photo of Maisie and Gus. If you're heading out for a morning walk, it will be quite fresh first thing. Winds will be light and variable. A big shift coming. The weekend will feature some warm temperatures and heating up. We'll go from spring warmth to summer heat. I'll have your local weather in just a few minutes.
Julie's here now with a detailed look at your weather. Julie?
Thanks so much, Lauren. A frost advisory continues in parts of Midwestern Ontario, Northern Huron and Perth, as well as Southern Bruce and Grey County and Northern Dufferin. Temperatures in those areas expected to dip to the freezing mark. Today we were below normal once again, 14 degrees. However, that is shifting heading into your Friday. I mentioned before the break, temperatures heating up this weekend. I have some good news to share with you. 5 degrees our low last night. A bit cooler out there tonight, but not quite as cold as it's been earlier in the week. As we take a look at the satellite radar, high pressure building in, we have this low along the eastern seaboard, and it is spinning back cloud cover into the Great Lakes Basin. That will be exiting and weakening as we head into tomorrow as high pressure takes hold. And that means, yes, lots of sunshine. Now, we've been dealing with that cold northwest wind. Winds will be shifting through the day tomorrow to the south. So we're expecting a nice warm flow of air to move into the Great Lakes. And temperatures are going to finally return to where we should be for this time of year, even above in the coming days. So spring warmth arrives for your Friday. Beautiful conditions with lots of sunshine. Next chance for showers will come in on Saturday morning. A little wave of moisture expected, but this is good because this one will be quick. This will move through Saturday morning. It'll move out as quickly as it comes in, and then we're back into a nice mix of sun and cloud. There's a slight chance for showers across the region on Saturday morning, although the probability is on the lower end at 40%. Tonight will drop down between 0 and +1 in the areas under the frost advisory, and then south of that, London could see some patchy frost as well. The forecast low 1 near the lakeshore of Erie and Huron, 4 to 5 degrees. Friday morning, sunshine through the afternoon, 16 degrees, and then the forecast high 20. Winds out of the south. Let's go through the next 7 together. Saturday morning, those showers moving in, but 24, and then hitting 25 with full sunshine on Sunday. I haven't seen a long weekend this warm in a number of years, and lots of sunshine in the forecast. The May long weekend is always one of those weekends that can really go either way. And the one thing that is certain this weekend, temperatures are going to heat up right across southern Ontario. Daytime highs climbing by holiday Monday. We'll be talking humidex. We're going to tap into some Gulf moisture. As a result, temperatures will feel like 30+. So over the long weekend, anywhere from 24 to 29. 29 on Monday, mainly cloudy with some nighttime rainfall, and then nighttime rain on Tuesday. Temperatures dipping back closer to normal Wednesday into Thursday. But it's the TSN turning point, as people like to call it, in terms of going from some cool, wet spring weather to the warm sunshine. Midwestern Ontario, same pattern for you. Lots of sunshine in the forecast for your Friday. A great way to kick off the weekend, and then some showers on Saturday morning. Sunday back to sunshine. Monday looks good. I know fireworks forecast, of course, heading into Monday evening at dusk until 11 p.m. is when you can light those off. And in terms of the forecast, we are expecting the chance for rain to start to move in. At this point, the probability is on the lower end. It's going to be a warm one at 29. So expecting temperatures to hold warm as well through the evening. Your forecast, it's shaping up to be a win right across southern Ontario with more sunshine than showers for sure, and temperatures heating up. Back to you.
Thanks, Julie. If you forget the marshmallows for the bonfire or ketchup for the barbecue, you'll have the option to run to some more stores this Victoria Day. New provincial rules now allow stores and malls to open on Victoria Day and Family Day if they choose. Banks, libraries, community centers, and other government services will still be closed for the holiday.
CTV News London has a newsletter helping you start your day with the latest local headlines. By signing up, you'll get local news content from CTV London direct to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewslondon.ca.
The final countdown to the World Cup is on, and now Canadians are getting a piece of the beautiful game they can jingle in their pockets. CTV's Craig Krause has more on the new loonie as Canada gets set to take the pitch for the biggest tournament on Earth.
The road to the World Cup is no longer just on the pitch. It's now landing in the hands of Canadians, coast to coast.
Ceremonial reveal.
At BC Place on Thursday morning, FIFA officials and the Royal Canadian Mint took to the field to unveil a new commemorative loonie as the clock ticks down toward opening kickoff next month.
The Royal Canadian Mint have created a coin capturing the passion, pride, and excitement that is about to sweep our country.
For the first time in tournament history, 3 countries will share hosting duties, with Vancouver and Toronto set to play host to 13 matches. The loonie, designed by Campbell River artist Glenn Green, features a hat trick of symbolism, featuring the FIFA 2026 emblem, a mosaic maple leaf, and a soccer ball frozen mid-strike. A snapshot of a country ready for its moment under the stadium lights.
That's much better. Thank you.
And for Burnaby native and FIFA Vice President Victor Montagliani, the emotion of what's coming is already hitting home.
I thoroughly enjoyed the visit a few weeks back in Winnipeg, and it was actually not only quite special, it was even emotional.
3 million of the special loonies are now entering circulation, including 2 million colorized versions, turning everyday change into a collector's piece of World Cup fever. And with kickoff now fast approaching, the buzz is building across the country. From BC Place to the world stage, Canada is getting ready to blow the opening whistle on a tournament many hope will deliver last-minute heroics, extra time drama, and a fairy tale finish. Craig Krause, CTV News, Vancouver.
That's our time tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm Lauren Stallone. Have a good night.